Good day everyone. Welcome to our YouTube channel. This is HALINA'T MATH-TUTO, and for our today's lessons, we talk about solving problems involving parallelograms, trapezoid, and kites. Let us have the objectives. At the end of this lesson, the learners are expected to: number 1, state the properties of parallelogram, trapezoid, and kites. Number 2, apply the properties of quadrilateral in solving problems. Number 3, we appreciate the importance of the properties of parallelograms, trapezoids, and kites in solving real problems. And when we look at our most essential learning competency, it is read and solve problems involving parallelograms, trapezoids, and kites. So we ask this question before we proceed: when is a quadrilateral a parallelogram? Or when is a quadrilateral parallelogram? So when we discuss quadrilateral, so we have the following properties. It is a parallelogram if, number 1, the opposite sides are congruent. Number 2, opposite angles are congruent. Number 3, any two consecutive angles are supplementary. Number 4, diagonals bisect each other. Then number 5, each diagonal divides a parallelogram into two congruent triangles. If that properties meron doon sa inyong quadrilateral, that means it is a parallelogram. Number 2, when parallelogram is both equilateral and equiangular. When we talk about equilateral, that means all sides are congruent. And when we talk about equiangular, that means all angles are congruent. So what quadrilateral, all sides are congruent, at the same time the angles are congruent. So pag nakita nyo sa figures, it is a square. How can you identify that the four-sided polygon is a trapezoid? Remember the definition of trapezoid? Right? So it is exactly one pair of opposite sides are parallel. So unlike the definition of parallelogram, it is two pairs of opposite sides are parallel. In trapezoid, it is one pair of opposite sides parallel. Also, we have to know the theorem, or we'll already discuss the theorem, which says the median of a trapezoid is parallel to the base and its length is 1/2 the sum of the length of the bases. Also, if the trapezoids, or if we have isosceles trapezoids, that means the legs are congruent, we have the following properties: base angles are congruent, diagonals are congruent, also opposite angles are supplementary. What are the properties of a kite? Again, the definition of a kite: four sides are drawn such that there are two distinct sets of adjacent congruent sides. We have formulate the following properties, which is diagonals perpendicular, one pair of opposite angles are supplementary, one diagonal forming the congruent triangles. Okay, so those things we have to bear in mind when we talk about or we try to solve problems involving parallelogram, trapezoid, and kites. Solving word problems, or take note of the following step. 1. Read and understand the problem. Identify what is need to be solved the problem, or determine the scenario the problem wants you to solve. So it can help if we imagine what should be or what the problem is asking, or we can have sketch so that we easily identify what is given and what is unknown. Then number 2, translate the statements. Okay, number 2, you need to draw a simple illustration to solve the picture, or you picture out the problem, and after that we write the equation, we try to solve the equation, and we check or verify, then we go back to the what is the given problem and state and finalize the answer. So state and finalize also it is include the interpretation. So example, so a square picture frame made up of bamboo sticks has a side of 10 inches. Find its perimeter and area. The first one is try to imagine the scenario, or there's a square frame, or specifically a picture which is a square. So we have to go back, or we have to look for the properties of a square. We know that all sides are congruent, right? All sides are congruent. Then it is equiangular. Then at the same time equilateral. It's made up of bamboo stick. So meron kayong bamboo stick, pwede nyo ring you can have a bamboo stick. So pwede nyong gamitin and para mas ma-visualize nyo, or meron kayong makikita or mahahawakan na bamboo stick, draw kayo or mag-form kayo ng square using that bamboo stick. Make it sure all the length of that bamboo sticks are equal. Okay, then binigay ang sides which is 10 inches. So binigay ang sides which is 10 inches. Since the properties of a square is all sides are congruent, so that means lahat yan ay congruent. And then find its perimeter and area. Pag pinag-usapan natin ang perimeter ng square, ang perimeter ay yung length ng lahat ng side. Okay, yun yung definition ng perimeter. So the perimeter of a square, pag inad natin ang lahat ng sides is, so let the sides, let S be the side of a square. So that is S plus S plus S plus S, that equivalent to the perimeter. So P equals, so kapag sinimplify natin to, we will have S plus S plus S is 4S, or 4 times the sides. So if we substitute the value of 10 inches in the formula, which is 10, so 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 will have 40 inches. And then if 4s, pag sinimplify lang natin, 4 times 10, we have also 40 inches. So parehas lang. And then kapag pinag-usapan naman is area is equal to s squared. So ito yung formula ng square. So s squared, so s stands for the sides. So a should be s so s is 10 squared is 100. So that means the area of that square is 100 inches or square inches, no? Square inches. So the area of a square picture frame na merong side na 10 inches is 100 square inches. Number 2, the length of a diagonal of a kite is 18 centimeter and 10 centimeter respectively. What is the area of a kite? So we can draw a kite so that you can able to visualize the given scenario. Okay, then remembering all the properties of a kite. Of course, diagonals are perpendicular. One pair of opposite sides are congruent. Ito yun. And then, one diagonal forming two congruent triangles. So this is it. Also, the adjacent sides, distinct adjacent sides are congruent. So providing all the information about the about sa kite, other. So what is the area of a kite? The question is, what is the area of a kite given 18 centimeter and 10 centimeter? So we write in the figure para medyo kita natin. Let's have other color. So this become 18 centimeter and 10 centimeter. So area. So the area of a kite is equal to diagonal 1 times the second diagonal, 86 over 2. So, ganun lang kasimple. Or, 1/2 times diagonal 1 and diagonal 2. Then, substitute na lang natin. So, diagonal 1 is, kahit magkapalit naman sila, okay lang. So, 10 times 18 over 2. So, 10 times 18, we got 180 divided by 2. We will have 90 centimeter. Pinag-uusapan na yung area, so centimeter square. So, the area of a kite is 90 centimeter square or square centimeter. Ano po? Another example, number 3. The area of a rectangular swimming pool is 192 meters square. So we have rectangular swimming pool. Let's say yan. Hindi lang ganun ka-perfect yung drawing ko. Okay? So, 100 given ang area niya, which is 192. So 192 yung area meter square. If the length is 16 centimeter, what is the width? So given the length, ito yung length, which is 16 centimeter, and given the area, lagyan natin sa loob 192 meter square. Then ang tinatanong dyan is what will be the width. Okay, so we all know that a rectangle, or the area of a rectangle, so area of a rectangle is length times the width. Okay, given the area 192, it's simply 192, and then the length is 16, so unknown si width, diba? So applying multiplication property of equality, so multiplying both sides by 1 over 16, 1 over 16, so we'll have W, or the width, is equal to 192 divide 16. Okay? So 192 divide 16, we will have we will have 12. Tama? We'll have 12. So the width is equal to 12 meters. Pwede nating i-check kung talaga siya ay 12 given the fact that the area is equal to length times the width. So if length is 16, then the width is 12. Multiplying 16 times 12. Okay, so 6 times 2, we have 2. We got 192. Diba? So the area is 192 meters square, which is yung given. So kinounter check natin. Okay po. That is more, solve the given problem. So Marcos family has a garden shaped like a rectangle. The length of the rectangle is 7 meters. What is the width of the garden if the area is 84 meters square? Just like dun sa ginawa natin kanina, we'll have the rectangle, the area, which is area is length times width. Length times width. So the area is 84 and the length is 7. We have unknown W. So 84 divided 7, we have 12. Right? So 84 divided 7, we have 12. The width will become 12 meters. Okay? So check nyo ulit. 12 times 7, we got 84 meter square. So for correction, it should be the length, because length will be, or the length should be longer than the width. Okay? What I have learned, you can have create the quadrilateral family tree. Pwede siyang flow chart or concept map. Describe the relationship between quadrilaterals. Marami naman kayong makikitang parang flow chart at iba-iba. Make it sure lang yung kanilang connection ay may parang may sequence ba. Kuwari yung family ni trapezoid, diba? So ito, tapos baba niya siyempre merong isosceles trapezoid, diba? Then pinakang main nila is quadrilateral. Pwede mong sabihin dito ay kite. Kasunod dito ay parallelogram. Something like that. Under niya ay ganyan concept map. Anyway, kahit ano namang concept map or flowchart ang gawin nyo, basta may relationship or we can have the relationship of quadrilaterals. So thank you for listening and hope you learned something from my topic, which is solving problems involving parallelogram, trapezoid, and kites.